let's go on to predictions. Now, there are two big races that I think are the most contentious this year. I think one, Best Picture, I can't call it at the moment. And second of all, I think Best Actress, there is a lot to play for here.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for Best Picture, I feel like it's going to be CODA, because I feel like the Oscars they are in a state of needing to change, a desperate state. And CODA is high vibes. It's positive. It's uplifting. It is absolutely not something you would typically see from the Oscars as a winner for Best Picture. I think they need that shock value. They need those headlines. And with the world in turmoil the way it is right now, I think that they would give Best Picture to CODA because it's so positive and uplifting. And when we're in such a state of kind of sadness in general. And so I think that that's why I'm thinking CODA might win Best Picture.
And we're looking at the race overall. I think towards the start of award season, Power of the Dog was on a bit of a winning streak. Yeah. As much as we love the Golden Globes since their cancellation, we know that studios have been purposely withdrawing their films from consideration for that ceremony this year. So even though they had their awards, it might not have been televised, they still awarded stuff. I don't think it's an accurate starting point. So at the beginning, we saw The Power of the Dog win big at the BAFTAs. We saw it win at the Critics' Choice as well. However, overall, I'm seeing a trend, especially as Oscar voting has commenced. There has been a trend towards CODA. So it won the big award at the Screen Actors Guild Award. It won the Ensemble Award, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it won the Ensemble at the Screen Actors Guild. So therefore, that signals that it has support from the acting branch of the Academy. Then at the Writers Guild Awards, it won the award for adapted screenplay, signaling that the writers are also behind it. And then it won the big award at the Producers Guild. And as we know, the Producers Guild has the most kind of overlapping membership with the Academy. So even though The Power of the Dog started off well as the front runner, and I think the Director Award is going to be Jane Campion, I think that award is all but hers. I think there has been a trend, particularly when, as award season has gone on and as the actual specific last round of voting has commenced for the Oscars, there has been a trend. CODA's been picking up some of the bigger awards from the different branches of the Academy as of late.
Yeah, and I think that it's like you said earlier, the Oscars have become so scandal-ridden and so controversial. And The Power of the Dog is a polarizing movie. You either loved it or you hated it. And I don't think that they want that kind of press. If it were to get Best Picture, I think that there would be such mixed reaction. And I think that this is their big comeback. And I think we're going to see luxury on the red carpet. And I think it's going to be very glamorous because they've been, they feel like they've been stuck at home for the last several years. And I think that they just want positive reaction to the show entirely. You've got 3 women hosting for the first time, 2 women of color. They're going all out. And I think that The Power of the Dog is just a little too polarizing to give the biggest award to.
But then at the same time as well, I've been not shocked, but somewhat surprised by the vehement reaction that CODA's got online. Some people have been comparing it to a Disney Channel original movie, which I think has been really quite unfair.
I mean, High School Musical was my jam, so I don't understand how anybody could say that anything negative about a Disney Channel original movie. I could list like Halloween Town. I could list like 10 that I'd rather watch than Power of the Dog. Okay. But yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't seen that. But I do. I think that people just love to hate on everything online. So I do hope that it wins for Best Picture because I think that it's sweet and I think it's so unique.
Mm. But then at the same time, when you look at the other nominees, there is Don't Look Up, fine, Drive My Car, fine, King Richard, fine, Licorice Pizza, fine, Nightmare Alley, fine, West Side Story is kind of up there, but there's two others which I don't think are quite out the woods as people seem to think, and that's Dune and also Belfast.
Yeah, no, Belfast is the only one that stumps me because it seemed like Belfast came out of nowhere. I don't know, maybe it's because
I think, no, I will stop you there, Kinsey. I don't think it came out of nowhere at all.
Well, no, I just didn't think of Kenneth as somebody that I didn't think of him as somebody that would produce something so beautiful. You know, you think of passion project. No, I just mean you think of passion projects in Hollywood, right? How many are bad? I'm not kidding. Like, how many times are you watching something and it's produced and made by somebody that is a star, and it was just ego, right? And it's all ego, and it's not good. And you could tell that to me, it came out of nowhere because I was taken aback by how beautiful, how brilliant, and how heartwarming it was.
I don't think it came out of nowhere. I think as soon as it was announced, actually, because I think the political discourse in that film and what it showed, I think, is actually still very relevant to today's audience in terms of the United Kingdom. So when that film was announced and people saw who was directing it, and people also saw who was in it, actors like Jamie Dornan and also Dame Judi Dench can actually do no wrong. Let's be honest. Yeah. I think when you saw the caliber of that, and you also saw up and coming stars like Catriona Balfe and Jude Hill, there was a lot of good qualities there. And as soon as I also think the BFI announced it on the programme for the London Film Festival, and Kenneth and Judy walked the red carpet together, you knew there was something special there. And as well, when the trailer was released and the film was revealed to be shot in black and white as well, whilst the cinematography is still being so beautiful at the same time, it was artistic, it was relevant to a lot of topical conversations that are having in today's audience. You've got the acclaimed director, you've got the acclaimed actors and actresses, you've got the up and coming talent as well. I think it would tick all the boxes, and especially with British films having that kind of high quality reputation across Hollywood and the Academy's history of rewarding British films, I actually don't think it's that surprising.
Well, I mean, maybe not for you. You talked about politically and some of those things being relevant, and that I just don't think that those are necessarily relevant to the States. So for us, it was like surprisingly precious and cute and exciting, and I don't think any of us were sitting around going, oh, I can't wait to see Belfast, this is going to be so great. Like, you saw it and then you were like, that was freaking amazing.
But also that's one thing that I think the BAFTAs got wrong, and that's why also the Academy seems to get it, or at least I kind of find that at times the Academy appreciates British film more than the British Academy does at times.
I think you're probably right, yeah.
Because the British audiences know it's coming, but yet BAFTA doesn't really reward it apart from naming out outstanding British film. And then boom, it's up for quite a few Oscars. And then everyone's talking, wow, how amazing is this? And then British audiences are just there going, I told you so.
Yeah, we got this one. That's hilarious.
I also kind of want to talk about Dune as well.
Okay.
Because I think this isn't out of the woods. First of all, due to the amount of awards it's nominated for, I think it's the second most nominated film. It's done so well across award season in terms of the design and tech categories. I think the design and tech branches could vote for it. I also think as well, we talked about this disparity between the Academy awarding films that are artistic and cinematic, but aren't necessarily watched by a lot of audience. We look at Dune with its $200 million in box office profit, and one can't help but think the Academy, by rewarding Dune, could close some of that disparity up. It could actually align itself with popular culture, apart from a few fan sites complaining about a lack of Zendaya in that movie. The movie was very much hailed as a cinematic masterpiece. Its marketing campaign was very much, you need to see this film in a cinema, especially with an IMAX screen in the UK, especially. And kind of, there's the old age mentality of, yes, everyone thinks Power of the Dog, CODA, this year could be the year of streaming service. Actually, post-pandemic, there needs to be a real drive to get people back into those cinemas, or as you guys say, those movie theaters. And I think by aligning yourself with a very popular movie that's in the kind of pop culture zeitgeist, that might help with that, as well as increase the Academy's reputation. What do you think?
No, I think that's a great point. And so many familiar faces in that film.
It's
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, I would be shocked if it did win, but maybe that would be the point to shock us. I think I would be shocked if it won because it just feels so cheesy.
Well, I don't think it's cheesy at all, because you actually had a sci-fi film that was actually, it wasn't just like Star Wars or Marvel. It people and critics praised it for its high quality. So in one sense, it would be hilarious. A sci-fi film beats all these other films. But then at the same time, this film was different because this also, I feel, was a real kind of draw in getting people back into the cinemas. And when people went to view it out of curiosity, they were then drawn in through the storytelling and through the incredible cinematography and incredible production design, incredible score by Hans Zimmer as well. If you think about it and look at the different aspects of it, it does tick a lot of boxes.
No, you're absolutely right. So, I mean, those are very good points. Perhaps it's Dune. We'll have to wait and see. We're less than 24 hours away.
I think the fact that people say, oh, it's between CODA and Power of the Dog. Yes, okay, it's most likely to be those two films, but we look at Dune and we look at Belfast, I don't think they could be counted out. Not just yet.
No, that's very good points.